Throughout its history, PDC darts has produced scenes of almost superhuman skill and utter drama. In every major televised tournament, from the World Championship to Premier League finals, players have conjured up moments so unbelievable that crowds stand in awe. Tonight, we relive those awe-inspiring highlights, the perfect legs, the record-breaking averages, the fairy tale upsets that earned their place in darts folklore. But what happens next, everyone's shocked.
Accent, you ate the positive, because Taylor has been at his most omnipotent.
So day one in start darts instead of his needle darts, they were difficult to throw. Then he did 116 average. Treble, missed the treble, 70.
It was May 2010, Wembley Arena, and the stakes were sky high. On finals night, Phil "The Power" Taylor faced off against James Wade for the Premier League title. The normally unshakable Taylor seemed possessed by perfection. Early in the match, he stepped to the Oche and unleashed fiery, flawless visits, treble 20, treble 19, double 12, completing a 9-dart leg with unbalanced ease. The crowd erupted, but Taylor wasn't finished. As the match wore on, he produced another perfect leg, making him the first player ever to hit 2 9-darters in a single televised match. The arena could scarcely believe it, lightning darts raining into triples and doubles, Sid Waddell's voice crackling with excitement, and in the end, Taylor defeated Wade 10-8 to clinch the Premier League trophy. It's possibly the greatest moment of my career, Taylor would later admit, and after this night, it was hard to disagree.
Barrel! Brilliant! Air shot! You have just seen 2 9-darters! What do you say?
Was phenomenal.
So it's time for the Space Cadets to dance! Bounce out, back. Benny last dart on the entire Napoleonic. The 25-year-old Stokey, half an inch right.
Just a year later, on the biggest stage of all at Alexandra Palace, history was made again. In the 2011 PDC World Championship final, Adrian Lewis, nicknamed Jackpot, was in a titanic battle with Gary Anderson. The level of play exploded from the start. 5 maximum 180s were thrown between them in the opening set alone. Midway through that set, Lewis stepped up, took aim, and delivered the holy grail of darts, a 9-darter with surgical precision. The commentary froze as every dart found its mark, and when the final dart hit double 12, pandemonium broke loose. It was the first ever 9-dart finish in a World Championship final. The 25-year-old from Stoke captured the moment perfectly. "It hasn't quite sunk in yet," he said, still trembling with adrenaline. Lewis powered on to beat Anderson 7-5, lifting his first world title and leaving Alexandra Palace awestruck by a display that won't be forgotten in a hurry.
A warm welcome, we are coming to you live. Players, would you please welcome? Thanks, Dave. Brilliant Barney. New Barney, perhaps. Can he do it again on the hockey? What a start, 1-8.
14, oh that's careless, 65, now the bullseye. Well,
Darts can also shock in the most unexpected ways. In the first round of the 2012 PDC World Championship, held December 2011, a largely unknown English player named James Richardson stepped onto the stage against 5-time champion Raymond van Barneveld. The Dutch legend was the heavy favourite, but it was Richardson who seized the moment. Throw after throw, Richardson's nerves of steel shone through. He punished misses and celebrated every treble. By the end, the unthinkable had happened. Richardson ran out a 3-0 winner over Van Barneveld. The Alexandra Palace crowd sat in stunned silence before erupting into cheers at the scoreboard. "Richardson has sent Raymond van Barneveld crashing to a shock defeat," the headlines read. It was one of the biggest upsets in darts history. The 22-year-old world number 85 had toppled a legend right in front of the world's eyes. That night, darts proved that anything can happen on the Oche.
double 16 for the most remarkable victory! One of the biggest shocks of all times!
Raymond van Barneveld.
Yeah, Michael van Gerwen, who won a 3rd UK Open qualifier at the weekend, is great form, and the majority of the legs that he's won.
And you're just not finding it. Sometimes you just have to slow down enough. I've said that. Well,
Fire, but he's very unforgiving. And look at this from Michael van Gerwen. Straight away, hits back with a...
Sometimes the insanity is in sheer, relentless scoring. In April 2016, during a Premier League night in Aberdeen, Michael van Gerwen staged an offensive for the record books. From the first throw, he was like a machine, triples raining down so consistently that even veteran Phil Taylor admitted astonishment. By the end of the hour, MVG's numbers were staggering. He had averaged 123.40 for the match, blasting Michael Smith 7-1. That number, the highest three-dart average ever recorded on TV, is a testament to perfection under pressure. At times, Van Gerwen was hitting 7 or 8 consecutive triple 20s. Each dart seemed unstoppable. In the arena, it felt like time had slowed. We witnessed a performance so clinical that Van Gerwen himself quipped he could have done 8 9-darters and still lost nothing of his dominance. It was an exhibition of darting excellence that raised the bar forever.
Now, double 16, and Michael van Gerwen has just pulled off the pier in Aberdeen tonight. Remember the night.
Fallon Sherrock has taken this out already. Team leaves double 16. Oh, nice setup though. Back. And she won't this time. There's a double bed there somewhere, but Dobie can't find it. She stay up there for double 11. She will double 11 for 142. Oh!
Darts is unpredictable, and sometimes the youngest and unlikeliest heroes emerge. The 2020 PDC World Championship will always be remembered as Fallon Sherrock's tournament. The 25-year-old was on the SportPesa World Championship debut when she stunned the world by beating Ted Everts in round 1. But the moment that sent shockwaves through the sport came in round 2, when Sherrock faced number 11 seed Mensah Suljovic. Ireland's Lansdowne Road was rocked as Fallon, nicknamed the Queen of the Palace, repeatedly punished Suljovic's misses and landed 2 sensational ton-plus checkouts along the way. In the deciding leg, with the crowd in frenzy, she sealed the victory by hitting the bullseye for double top, a finish so dramatic it stopped commentators in their tracks. When the darts stopped flying, Sherrock had won 3-1 against the world top seed. For the first time in PDC history, a woman had beaten a man on television at the World Championship. The eruption of cheers and disbelief was historic. That instant, an underdog's dream come true, cemented Fallon Sherrock's name in the annals of the sport.
Has done it! Fallon's fairy tale comes to crowd to rise and give her the ovation that she thoroughly deserves. Round for the 2nd year in a row. But take a bow, Fallon.
Or is it the opposite? This is the world final. It's something.
Early years of my career, I lost a lot of finals because I wasn't trying to.
And he has bust his score in the opening leg.
The drama continues to this day. At the 2024-25 PDC World Darts Championship, a new superstar was born. In an electrifying final at Alexandra Palace, 17-year-old Luke Littler, a teenager from England, faced 3-time champion Michael van Gerwen. The final began like a siege. Littler's arrow-like throws and repeated 180s stunned MVG. By the mid-game break, Littler was up 4-0, driving home the pressure. Though van Gerwen fought back briefly, Littler simply wouldn't be denied. In the end, Littler blitzed MVG 7-3, lifting the Sid Waddell Trophy as the youngest ever world champion. It was a generational moment. Crowds went wild as the teenager celebrated, his victory confirming what commentators could only whisper moments before, that we may be witnessing darts history in the making. Littler's wizardry on the Oche, ruthless scoring and ice-cold finishes was a breathtaking display of precocious talent. In one night, he became a legend, showing that the insane moments in darts history continue to this very day. Darts may look like a gentleman's game, but as we've seen, it has the power to shock, awe, and electrify like few sports. Each of these legendary moments, from Taylor's dual-perfect legs to Littler's record-breaking youth, reminds us why fans flock to the arenas and why each throw truly counts. No matter when or where it happens, when darts magic strikes, it leaves us all breathless.